Hey, Garage Logic fans, I do a podcast on the Garage Logic Network that comes out every Wednesday and Friday now, twice a week. But here's an important caveat. There is zero logic available in my show, in the formal definition of logic. Of course, life is a yin and yang kind of thing. There's the logic side, and then there's the what the hell side, which needs to get its exercise. So come for the what the hell and stay for the you've got to be kidding me. Mishki, now Wednesdays and Fridays, twice a week.
So a Polak goes to a tennis match, steals a hat, and all hell breaks loose. You're already drooping and sagging and shaking your head. Oh, I hit the post there, Daniel.
That was good. Very impressive. Okay, I know the story you're talking about vaguely. So I'll be a really good audience for you.
Okay. I looked up whether or not I can say Polak, and it's still okay.
Well, I think Polacks call themselves Polacks.
Yeah.
That's what people from Poland call themselves.
I love my Uncle Al, since I was a little kid, has been telling me Polak jokes, and it reminds me of my Uncle Al and makes me happy every time I hear a Pole person referred to as a Polak.
Is your uncle a Pole? Or is he just mocking? Oh, so he's mocking. Worse. He's just mocking a particular Eastern Bloc country.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's actually worse. He's from North Dakota. Oh, I'm killing me.
Oh, you're funny.
So I want to end with the Polish thing, and I want to play 3 clips from you about what America is when you go to a baseball game. First clip is one that's been going around for years, and I think it actually happened 11 years ago now, where somebody... just play the clip, Chris. You know, it's the one with the little kid that hands off the ball to the Fox.
Has an ERA of 0 against the Astros in 3 appearances this year. Popped up. And the fans get up for that one. It bounces way up deeper into the stands. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a scramble. There it is.
I was rooting for the girl myself.
Okay, yeah.
And she wins in the end.
Nice.
So what happened there, Amy, is this guy, it's hit out into the stands. There's nobody there. This guy gets the ball. 2 people are scrambling, him and a little tiny girl.
Okay.
He gets the ball. He celebrates like he's the king of the world and a champion, gets the applause, then hands the ball to a little girl.
Oh, that's adorable.
That's what America is. And now here is the next clip, which also involves a kid.
Earlier in the game, Luis Rivera throws him a baseball. Now watch what he does. He catches that baseball and then turns to the group of young ladies behind him and says, "Hey ladies, would you like a ball?" And they go, "Oh, aren't you so sweet?" But then he says, "I gave her the other ball."
The problem is he's got the gamer in his glove.
He never took the gamer out of his glove. He says, "Ladies, would you like a baseball?" And look at the girl in the middle. Oh, that's so sweet.
So he already had a ball in his possession. He handed the Super Fox behind him a decoy ball.
The Super Fox.
Oh, they're gorgeous. And they're about 15 years older than him. This is a little kid.
He's a little kid.
Yeah, he's a little kid that knows
totally changes the story.
He knows how to work the angles, right?
Okay. He's a con man in training.
Right.
Okay.
But again, yes. But again, to me, this is America.
America.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I
then
love that. That story's amazing.
Yeah, and it's a really good video. It's been
really
going
cute.
around.
Really cute.
Yeah, going around forever.
I wonder if those girls ever got home and were saw the tape and were like, "Hey, kid."
I don't know. I think he was hoping for a phone number.
for a fake ball.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we have what happened last week, and I believe it's the pathetic U.S. Open. Have you seen this video?
It's pathetic.
These are all names I can't pronounce, Polish names. And there's you know what? Run the news clip that I sent you, Chris. It's the very first video I sent this morning. This might describe what happened.
Speaking out today after facing backlash for stealing a hat from a child at the U.S. Open this week, and it wasn't to apologize. Yikes. This happened after a match when tennis star Kamil Myshak was signing autographs after his win. He took off his hat to give to the boy, but that man snatches it away and takes off with it. After facing criticism online, the man responded by saying, quote, "If you were faster, you would have it," and threatened legal action for those criticizing him. But Myshak met up with the boy afterwards and gave him another hat to make up for it. I don't know what that man can do to make up for his actions, but, you know, he's got to live with it.
Yeah.
So the internet.
How old do you think that guy is?
Oh, 30s. Yeah. Early 40s.
Yeah.
A CEO of a company, very successful.
Multi-millionaire.
And as always, the internet found him, named him, and went about shaming him. He comes out and says, if this keeps up, I'm going to sue you.
Sue who? And the internet?
I think, yeah, exactly.
I mean, really, honestly, has he not lived in the last 12 years?
Not in America.
Yeah, apparently, well, it doesn't even matter, Kenny. I don't care where you live. People will pummel you online, and no one in the history of ever will win a libel or a slander lawsuit due to that.
Against the internet.
Ever. No, stop it, sir. Stop it.
So that finally dawned on him after a week. And this week he has actually come out and apologized. But of course, that apology holds no air. Nobody cares.
How long after the U.S. Open did that apology happen?
A long ass time, Amy. A long time.
I mean, after you got pummeled, you threatened to sue, you stole By the way, let's go back to the original sin. You stole a hat from a child.
Right out of his hands. Of his hands.
Oh, here's the best part. And ran like the big baby man you are.
He stuffed it in. His wife was standing right next to him, stuffed it in her bag. And then she also defended him on the internet.
See, if my husband did that, and I know you would do the same thing, Kenny, because I know your heart. If my husband did that exact same thing, or your wife did that exact same thing, do you think I would let him, or would you let them put it in your bag?
No.
I'd be like, I don't think so. Take it back to the young man. Thank you.
I'm afraid to even bring it up around you because I'm afraid you're going to take it out on me. Have you ever been to a Cubs game?
I'm going to take it out on you.
Yeah.
I don't feel that strongly about U.S. Open hats, honey. Have I been to what?
A Cubs game.
No.
At Wrigley Field, when an opponent of the Cubs hits a home run and it lands in the stands, they throw it back on the field.
Why?
And if they don't throw it back on the field, there's a good chance they'll get the shit kicked out of them.
Yep.
Why? I don't understand any of that.
That's the rules, Daniels.
Because Chicago.
But why? I don't get it.
Chicago is awesome, and people from Chicago are so awesome.
Okay, but hold it. What's the reasoning? Because they don't want to waste a baseball? I don't understand.
They don't want your dirty baseball from your dirty team. Get out of my town, you loser.
Oh.
Cubs rock.
Oh,
you suck.
I see. If it's the opponent's, gotcha. I missed that part. Gotcha.
Kenny, if you look it up, there is a video. In fact, our good friend Melly, who used to run promotions here,
Melly.
the last time the Twins, this is when the Twins were still in the Dome, we did an AM 1500 outing to Wrigley Field. I think this was in the summer of 2009.
Oh, that sounds like a drunken brawl.
Oh, God, it was epic. And anyway, there was a Twins fan that caught a home run ball. I wasn't at that game. I was at the game the next day, and they threw... Like the other kid, like this kid did that you were referencing, he threw a ball he had in his pocket back on the field and kept the home run ball.
Oh, my God.
That's brilliant.
Yes. That is very Chicago, isn't it?
I was at a Cubs game once when Harry Carey was still alive, and when the seventh inning stretch came, and by the seventh inning, Harry was blackout drunk. And he always led the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, right?
I remember that.
And the Cubs, the Wrigley Field, I don't know, it was built in the 1600s. It is old-ass stadium.
Right.
And I was able to position myself right under his broadcast booth. So all I had to do was turn and look up and Harry's right there, leaning out of the booth, no shirt on, singing "Take Me Out." It was the best.
No shirt on?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Harry, it's the middle of summer. It's hot.
Well, don't say that like everybody knows that Harry Carey doesn't have a shirt on.
Yeah, he was a notorious drunk.
Oh, my God. I remember his voice because somebody I used to work with would do this, who was from Chicago, would do this kind of impression
That's actually
of him.
really good.
Yeah, and so that's the extent of my knowledge of Harry Carey was let's back to the ball game kind of
Royce
thing.
has told a story about drinking back in Royce's drinking days, told a story about being in a bar, drinking all day, all night, and then around, I don't know, I'm going to pick a time, 11, 12 o'clock, when Royce's just blotto and ready to go home, Harry goes, well, let's order some supper.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It's so funny because when you think back, when do you think, and maybe when did Harry Carey start that job? 1950s,
well, he started,
40s?
I believe, didn't he start with the Reds, Chris?
I believe
he
started with the White Sox, if I'm not mistaken. I'll look it up. I'll give you the timeline
and went
here.
to the Reds, and I think came back and was with the Sox.
He started as a broadcaster in 1945 with the St. Louis Browns.
Oh.
Then transitioned to the Cardinals. From 1945 to 1969, and I think didn't he call the not Disco Demolition, Oakland A's in 1970, the White Sox from 71 to 81, and then the Cubs from 82 to 1997.
Yeah, that means he was calling during Disco Demolition.
Yeah, because that would have been late 70s, right?
Yeah,
71 to 81. So yeah, he was there that night.
Yeah.
Steve, which you claim is the best radio promotion in history.
Oh, I think it was absolutely brilliant.
You couldn't pull that off today.
All the baseball guys are like, oh, that was the low point in baseball.
Okay.
And all of us radio guys are you kidding me? That was the best moment in radio ever.
Okay, I'm going to say this, and Chris, you may not like it, and I could be wrong. But I don't know. I think baseball people maybe take themselves a little serious.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
We had this discussion.
Tiny bit.
Yeah. We just got done arguing about this off the air at GL.
Okay.
The only people that are worse than baseball are the golf fans.
Oh, yeah.
They're so tedious.
Baseball, for instance, it's so much statistic driven now. I mean, not that it always wasn't. It always has been to some smaller degree. But now with analytics and all that, Moneyball, blah, blah, blah.
The minutia, yes.
But what always kills me is that, and I've had this discussion with people before, when people hit for the cycle, it makes news.
Yeah.
It is a statistical coincidence. It's not an accomplishment. A single, a double, a triple, and a home run. Who cares? Baseball person taking themselves too seriously, Chris.
Okay. I guess I see that part of it. It can be an anomaly, but I mean,
is that skill? I don't think so.
Well, hitting a baseball, I will say this.
Skill?
I'm going to defend my favorite sport. Hitting a baseball is one of the single most difficult things to do.
It's a round bat, a round ball. I know. Blah blah blah.
Amy, it's 100 miles an hour.
Okay,
I agree with you, but hitting a
what's
baseball.
hard? Giving birth to a child.
Oh, give me a break. Here's
trump card.
Here's my line about that.
I know. Sorry.
Women will compare giving birth to a guy getting kicked in the nuts.
We just had this conversation, my child and myself, the other day.
But a guy never volunteers to get kicked in the nuts again.
Sometimes women don't either. I have one child, Ken.
That's your fault.
One.
It's always the woman's fault.
But I mean, my point is, originally, Harry Carey started in, that's stunning, 1945.
45.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you seen?
If you started working in baseball in, let's go forward 60 years in 2005.
Yeah.
People weren't keeping their jobs when they're blackout drunk, as you described it, wearing no shirt, leading the seventh inning stretch.
But he was with the perfect organization in that a Cubs home game during the day just became a drunken show.
But it just times have changed
Oh, yeah.
So much.
Have you
it's crazy.
seen the photo of Harry in the press box wearing wingtips, dark socks, and boxer underwear and nothing else?
No, tell me more.
That's all. I don't know. That's all. I've seen the picture 100 times. I have no idea why he was like that. But to me, that perfectly describes how Harry was.
But does he continue semi-coherently calling the baseball game or no? Was he able to get through the 9th or 10th inning or whatever?
Steve, who was his partner, Chris? Steve
Stone.
Yeah, I think Steve spent a lot of time correcting what Harry was saying.
Okay.
And then Harry, if a weird name would come along, he'd get distracted coming up with rhyming words for that guy's last name.
Yeah.
It was just had nothing to do with baseball, but it was completely delightful.
I remember that from the impression that my friend would do. I was like, it's a knuckleball for knuckle the muckle truckle.
Yeah.
You know, but
was your friend from Chicago?
He was. It's Mark O'Connell. He used to work at 1500.
Yeah,
and
I worked with Mark.
Yeah, Mark's a great guy. He passed away, sadly. God, now it's been over 15 years. Yeah. But he would do the funniest Harry Carey impression. And up to that point, I'd never known.
No, he did a perfect Harry was. He did a perfect Harry.
It was
Carey
really
impression.
good. It was really good.
So all of this reminds me of one of the times I went to like 7 or 8 blues fests in a row. Big 3-4 day event held in Grant Park downtown, right in downtown Chicago next to the lake.
Okay.
So you're sitting in Grant Park and you can see at night the whole city lit up around you and then the lake behind you. And this is where, I can't remember the name of the fountain right now, but there's a big fountain in Grant Park, and it's the one that was featured in the opening scenes of Married with Children.
Oh, okay, sure.
So after
when
all
they
the music,
play Love and Marriage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So after each night's event, everybody would migrate over to the fountain or go sit next to the lake. And there were always about 6 to 12 cops hanging around the fountain, preventing people from going in. And the fountain has tiers. And the big challenge was get into the main part in the water and then see how far up in the tiers you can climb before you get arrested. And this is what made me realize that there's no better person on earth than a person from Chicago. A gal and a boy, her boyfriend, girlfriend standing there, very, very intoxicated. And the boyfriend is encouraging the girl to get into the fountain, and she doesn't want to because she thinks she'll get arrested. And there's a cop standing nearby listening to all this. He finally, after 10 minutes of cajoling, convinces her to get into the fountain. The second she gets into the fountain, she gets arrested right away. And the boyfriend starts laughing his head off and says, I'll see you on Monday morning.
Oh, my God.
And that's when I realized this is the best city in the whole wide world.
That is justifiable homicide.
But what do you suppose he was planning?
Do you think that was his plan, obviously, from the beginning?
I think it was. Yeah. I think it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she was so drunk. And
that cop should be charged with aiding and abetting a kidnapping.
That cop was only... he was doing his job.
He was doing his job.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm so glad, going back to our original story, I'm so glad that Polak learned his lesson, and that's not what we do in the United States at sporting events.
So what did we learn? I'm actually curious. What did we learn about, like, who is he? What's his deal?
CEO of if I remember right, a paving company. I believe they do parking lots and streets and whatnot. But
a CEO.
Yeah, and very wealthy, has his own giant tennis court in his backyard and all sorts of other stuff. And that apology to me is just so empty.
Yeah, what was, like, when he apologized, what did he actually say?
Let's see, I think I might have it up. Piotr Cesarik, CEO of Drogbrook, a Poland-based paving company, said on September 1's social media statement that he takes full responsibility for my extremely poor judgment and hurtful actions.
Okay. You're right, Kenny. First of all, that was written by a PR flack.
Oh, absolutely.
And by the way, charged him about $1,200 to write those 2 sentences.
You know, there's a series out, and I don't remember if it's Netflix or Hulu, about those kind of people that do
like
damage
triage.
Yeah, they do damage control. And it was a fascinating, fun series. Anyway, the apology goes on. I would like to unequivocally apologize to the young boy, his family, all the fans, and the player himself. I hope, at least to some small extent, I was able to repair the harm I caused.
Okay, but here's the thing, and you've already said this. Go ahead.
There's one last thing and this is what really made me say, you're an ass, dude. It was never my intent to steal away a prize memento from the young fan. I became caught up in the heat of the moment and the joy of the victory.
The joy of ripping it out of a child's hands was too much for me to walk away from.
And the kid puts his palms up like this, and he's looking around going, what just happened?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really literally like taking candy from a baby.
Yeah. That's perfect definition.
I just cannot. Yeah. But here's the thing, Kenny, to your point, oh, God, this makes me so mad. So how do you, after you've stolen, I'm going to go over this quickly again.
Yeah.
You stole a baseball from a child.
Yeah.
A crowd of people saw you do it.
Yeah.
You took the ball, not a baseball. You took the ball over to your wife. You stuck it in her purse.
Yep.
She defended you.
Yep.
You threatened to sue people who called you out for being a jerk.
Gonna sue the internet.
And now you're saying, I'm sorry, I take responsibility.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, you're just a big, dumb, stupid head.
Should he have to pay beyond the humility that he suffered?
I want to kick him in the... No, I don't. I honestly, I kind of want to... I never punch people. I kind of want to punch him.
Yeah. He's very punchable.
Yeah, he's
You're
got
right.
a punchable face.
Yeah.
Reputationally.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like him at all.
All right. I'm glad we worked that out.
Yeah, that's good.
Say, we're coming up in the change of seasons when a lot of folks are going to be storing the motorbikes for the winter and breaking out, I don't know, the sleds or putting tracks on the side-by-side for winter fishing. I want you to keep our friends DennisKirk.com in mind if you find yourself needing any kind of part or accessory, even apparel for sleds and wheelers, side-by-sides, whatever. DennisKirk.com, they have over 185,000 parts and accessories in stock right now. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's an astounding number, but I've been there. There's a giant facility right in Rush City. All the locals work there. I've taken the tour. It's one of the coolest things I've ever witnessed. I witnessed an order coming in and then the various parts being boxed up and then put on a truck. It's I thought I was in an episode of the Jetsons. That's how futuristic and cool it was. And that's why if you're located in Minnesota or nearby in Wisconsin, there's a dang good chance that the stuff you order will hit your doorstep quicker than promised. All orders placed before 6 p.m. Central get same-day shipping. Even better, if that order is over $89, it ships for free. I'm sorry, but that's a big deal in my world. DennisKirk.com will equip you with the parts and gear and apparel that you're looking for. If that part exists, they have it in stock. Oh, and all returns on apparel, free of charge if you find it doesn't fit. Not a problem. Whatever and wherever you ride, DennisKirk.com has the parts and accessories you need. Go to DennisKirk.com. Are you ready for this, Amy?
Sure.
I feel like we're two parents and we're telling the kids to come downstairs, come join us in the living room.
We need to have a family talk.
We're going to have a family talk. You and I are getting a divorce.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
I came up with an analogy, and you're going to hate me for this. But working with you, don't be insulted. I think it's like...
you cannot preface things this way. Just spit it out.
Working with you is like dating a stripper.
Wow. Hey, Chris. Jump on the mic, Chris.
Okay.
Don't laugh.
I'm sorry.
Off mic.
I just never know what's coming out of his mouth.
I don't either. It's
want
like
you-
dating a stripper, Chris.
I want you all to myself. I want you for me. And you are absolutely the best I've ever been with.
Ick. This is so sweet but icky at the same time.
It's like he's talking about his sister.
I know.
I knew going in that you had a job. I don't love that job, but that's what you were doing when we hooked up. And you've told me numerous times, no matter how much I beg,
I'm not going to leave the stripper pole.
I want you to quit that job.
Okay.
But you're not going to quit that job.
Right.
The reason there hasn't been a CRABBY in the last 2 weeks is 100% my fault. You have a job to do. It's a paying job that pays your mortgage and, allows you to live your life. The reason there hasn't been a CRABBY is because I will not work alone. Nobody wants that. If I have to do a show alone, it's going to end up being a rambling diatribe, and somebody's going to call the authorities, and I'm going to end up in jail.
I would totally listen to that show, Ken.
I can't do it. I just get the flop sweats just thinking about it because I have no control over where my mind is going, and my mouth just follows along.
Which would be the best part of it. But
no.
I get it. I get it. I wouldn't want to do it either, frankly.
Amy, I woke up today at 4 a.m. and immediately started scheming on how I could get out of doing the show, not only today, but
for
forevermore.
the rest of my life. Right.
Yeah, forevermore. And I started, and, Dan we're going to make a change here. And Dan, our boss, has called me numerous times just to ask me, are you still on board? Right. So he knows where my mind is.
Right.
And he knows that I'm always 10 seconds away from walking away.
Right. And the difference with you and I is we've known each other long enough, and I think we're honest enough with each other that every time you've been like, I'm going to quit, I just go, okay, great.
But
and I don't talk you out of it because I know it's going to blow over.
It's not an act, though.
No, I know it's not, but it's going to blow over, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. You are, but here's the thing with Kenny, as everybody who knows the show knows, and knows him knows, this is just all about you having a lack of confidence in your ability to do this. It has nothing to do with the quality of the show or it being a pain in your butt.
I'm so much better in a support role. So much better.
I am too, by the way. I am too.
But you're really good.
I don't know. But you know what? Here's the thing. Why don't you tell people, first of all, Dan, the Dan you mentioned, is Dan Seaman, our boss.
Yeah.
Who's our boss here, but also my boss at My Talk.
And also runs all of the radio stations that Hubbard owns in Minnesota.
Right.
I mean, he's a busy guy.
Yeah.
He earns his pay.
He does. Brainerd,
he really does.
Bemidji, Alexandria.
He's up early in the morning till late at night and rarely gets a break.
Well, actually, not early in the morning. That's a myth. He's a liar. That's not true. But the point is that a decision was made, and I am very good with it. But why don't you go ahead and...
You found out about it through back channels, and I was purposely keeping it from you because I didn't know how to bring it up with you. I was scared to bring it up with you.
Oh, that's funny.
And Dan and I had numerous conversations, and my wish was that, there's going to be a new co-host, and that co-host is Jay Coles of KSDP TV, who is finally trying to retire from TV, and it sounds like they have talked him into, once again, staying on for a day or two a week. They really, I don't know, Amy, but they keep...
Am I stuck with you for the rest of my life?
They keep giving him incentives to stay, but he wants to do the first show on October 1st.
Okay.
I tried calling him today so we could get him on the phone, and he said during this time he was at a city council meeting working.
Sure.
So he can't do it. Jay lives an hour and a half away.
Jay's a friend of mine, too.
Yeah.
And I love Jay.
Yeah.
I know exactly where he lives because that's where our cabin used to be in that general vicinity.
Well, a wonderful part of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But the second he gets in his car, he's on the phone the whole way. He's always working. Mm-hmm. And he's at the point where he kind of picks the stories he does, which if you're a reporter, that's that's an achievement.
Absolutely.
And the news directors, he's gone through 1 million news directors down there, and they all love him because he really does outstanding work.
Right.
And he's been a friend of mine, and we worked together briefly at 1500 in the morning. He did a morning show with a guy named Willie Clark. The show was a disaster, and Willie was just Willie was so yeah.
That was bad.
But what I learned is that I really, really love Jay, and I love working with him, and he has some ideas. And initially, when the first time Dan came to me a few years ago, and he said, "I got to run something by you," and he actually came up here and met with me in person, and I thought, you could have just fired me on the phone. You don't need to do it face to face.
Oh, came up to where you are, 3 hours north.
Yeah, and it turns out it was far worse than getting fired. It was he wanted me to do a podcast. And I said Jay Coles, and Jay couldn't do it. And then the reason I quit the first CRABBY with Don and John had nothing to do with Don and John. It had everything to do with me. And I just hated doing that show and the direction we were going. It seemed to me to be phony and backing up to the pay window. And it made me feel really dirty and slimy.
Okay. Just because of the content wasn't your jam.
Yeah. So I pulled the plug on that. So Jay is going to start on the first week in October, as far as I know. And you are always going to be on call because again, this is my way of asking you, Amy, you're going to be on call. And when I need you to co-host, you're going to say yes, and you're going to be there, and we're going to be reunited. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and you're really going to enjoy it.
You know what, Kenny? This is how our relationship is based on these sort of Faustian agreements. You just word. Send me, how I ended up on this podcast, y'all, if you haven't heard the story, is he sent me a text. I hadn't talked to me in, 2 years. Yeah. Sent me a text out of nowhere that goes, "Hey, you're going to be my new co-host on CRABBY. It's coming back. Be in the studio Tuesday morning at 10. You don't have to bring anything. I've got it. See you then."
Yeah.
And you know what? I really was like, a new phone, who dis?
You know what we should do? We should find that tape and release that as it was what I would call...
we did the trial show, right?
We did a pilot episode.
That's right.
And it wasn't meant to be released. We should release that.
I feel like I was in a blackout when we did that because I don't remember anything about it. Did I have a stroke right after that, or what happened?
It was very...
What did we talk about?
I don't know, but it was super unprofessional.
Awful.
Yeah. So I think we should absolutely release it.
But here's the reality, Ken.
Yeah.
The reality is this. I have loved working with you because I love you. I even love when you're neurotic because I love you enough to go, I know, I still love you. It'll be better tomorrow.
Right. Anyway.
Anywho, but the other thing is, it's been really fun to do it. But I'm going to be really honest. I get it. I am not a natural fit for this show, for this audience. I'm just not. There are lots of things I don't say, and I don't think they would necessarily be that interesting to people that listen to this show. I think it should be what the listeners of the show want, which is two really cool guys talking about really cool things.
Here's what I've learned about podcasting, and it's the opposite of everything we learned about radio. I don't give a rat's ass about the audience. I don't care if there's one person listening or 1 million. I don't care if they're upset or they love it. I don't care. Everything we learned in radio, I throw away on the podcast. I would never, ever do a radio show the way I do a podcast.
Sure. Yeah, that makes some sense. But I mean, honestly, Kenny, there's I think a vibe, and I know Jay as well as you do. And I think the two of you together are going to be you're going to have so much fun talking about things you and I would never talk about. Ever, because I'm not capable of it.
But all I cared about when we did that pilot was compatibility. And I already knew the answer. I knew that it was just going to be like me walking into your office and closing the door and then just tearing into, I don't know, Lori and Julia or whoever.
Whoever was in our sights that day.
Yeah. And I knew we were going to be good together, and we are. And I don't think it matters what we talk about as long as it's not serious. I don't want to do anything serious or anything political or anything that's going to, get protesters outside of our building. You know what I mean?
We like to sidestep that. that. But you know what? I think the other piece of it is I have truly, and you're absolutely right, in terms of, that's one of the beauties of podcasting, is people don't, it's not broadcasting. Broadcasting was always designed, they're going to have to rethink it, was always designed to get maximum amounts of eyes or ears on the product, right? So it had to be sort of watered down to the point that nobody was offended, which is my least favorite form of entertainment. I hate it. And it's sort of like the old Leno versus Letterman argument. My mom, my entire life, my mom would go, and Letterman was always the standard for cool late night viewer. And Leno was like the unwashed masses, right?
Right, yeah.
That was sort of reputationally those two shows. And my mom used to go, I don't like that letter person. I think he's awful. He's so mean and sarcastic. And I was like, that's why I love him. You know, so that's always been my kind of entertainment. But I just think that you are just going to have such a great time with Jay. I think Jay's going to be able to talk about things that I probably wouldn't want to talk about, frankly. And the other piece of it is I have loved the people we have talked to. I mean, go all the way back to the beginning. Kathy Werzer.
Yeah, that was fun.
Was like on our, after the pilot first episode. We've talked to Chris Schaefer. We've talked to so many people. Jamie Yukas.
John Hines.
Tommy Mischke.
Tommy
Bob
Bernard.
Davis. Tom Bernard.
Bob.
Bob Davis. Just so many people. Oh, Kendall. Remember? Kendall was hilarious.
Kendall was
Mark.
one of the best. Her dad was a judge.
Oh, she got in so much. She got in, they put her in jail. I believe she was in jail, and her dad had to be moved to a different jurisdiction for the day because otherwise she would end up in his courtroom. She was of the daughters. She was the only one who got in trouble with the law.
That's a Barbara Streisand movie. What the hell is the name of that movie from the 60s?
Can you hear me?
With Ryan.
What's up, Doc?
Yeah.
What's up, Doc?
Yeah.
What's up, Doc? But we had such fun. I mean, it was so fun to talk to some people in broadcasting I've never talked to. Jenny.
Oh, right.
Jenny Hubbard was Jenny.
Yeah.
Jenny
I had to ride the bus to the shuttle bus to the fair with her and Dan. That was, oh my God, it was the worst day of my life. Sitting with those two.
Oh, Jenny loves you. She sat here and you guys, remember what it was like in 1987?
It was fun.
You know, and I was like, and I'm Amy, whatever.
Jenny, you've met Amy, right?
Yeah, right.
She does something.
I've only worked for you for 22 years. No biggie. And you too. No, but I mean, we just talked to so many cool people, and it was really fun. And I'll be here for a couple more weeks until Jay feels like showing up.
So we're going to have to figure out what to do with ourselves for the next couple of weeks. You know what would be really cool?
Yeah, well, before we move on, do you have some idea or some hint you can give us about sort of the sort of center lane of what you and Jay want to do?
He wants to interview interesting and different people. People that aren't necessarily newsmakers, but people that the one thing he wants to do is talk to Norm Coleman, not about anything that Norm has ever done politically, but about, and I think you and I actually talked about this or briefly mentioned it. Norm was told by doctors to go home and die.
Right.
And then he recovered, and now he's working again.
How long has it been since he got that prognosis?
I think it's been over 5 years.
Holy buckets.
So we want to talk about maybe people you know, but topics that you will be surprised about.
I love that. I think it's going to be great. Jay has great contacts, too.
He's got like a 100-pound Rolodex. Yeah. He's just, the contacts are amazing. So that's going to be interesting. My idea for the next couple of weeks is 2 weeks ago, you had to go to Dallas. Mm-hmm. Maybe you could do that again.
Go to Dallas?
Yeah, or find some kind of excuse.
I can do that.
And then last week we got really, really busy, and it was the day of the shooting.
Right.
And you had to change your entire format for the day, which would have been really easy back in the old paper log days.
Right.
But now everything's on computer, and it's really, really difficult. So you had to...
Yeah, and when you go from what My Talk usually does, which is pop culture and entertainment, to something as tragic and heavy as what happened last week, then my hosts do, and Kenny, I think you would back this up, I believe my talk hosts do a phenomenal job in times like this. They've had to do it, unfortunately, many times in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
However, somebody in the background needs to last minute start booking guests so we can get some perspective outside of our pedestrian viewpoint.
Yeah.
So Dan Seaman, our boss, we were talking about, and myself were sort of in the background trying to book some guests that could give us some clarity on what was going on in Minneapolis.
Yeah. I thought you guys, I listened off and on during the entire day as I was sampling, like I always do, sampling all the media. And I was actually, and I don't really say this very often, I was very proud to be a member of My Talk that day. I thought everybody handled it very, very well. I think you did all the right things.
You know what? I think here's what I will say about that, since I have a moment to do it. I sort of set about, if I did anything right at My Talk, it was I set about 18 years ago or something to hire really, really good human beings who happened to also be talented and funny and likable.
Yeah.
And I think across my staff, as it stands, that can be said about every single one of them. And I'll tell you why that's important as far as I'm concerned. First of all, I know it's an overused word, but culture. It helps to have good people make a good culture. Yep. Bad people make a bad culture.
Yep.
A toxic one, especially in 2025. It's not 1985 anymore, first of all. Second of all, when something like this happens, when George Floyd happened, when this happened, when COVID happened, when our politicians were gunned down in their homes.
For me, it goes back to the bridge falling in the river.
The bridge falling down in the river. When you go to people that are on the inside, good human beings with a heart, then you're going to get that kind of perspective.
Yeah.
And the other thing is I tell all of them, and tried to do the same this time, nobody's looking to us to be journalists. We're not. That's why we use Channel 5. And and those Channel 5 did an amazing job. I frankly stayed with their coverage for the most part for all of it. Matt Belanger was amazing and helped us out so much on that story. We're not journalists. All I told my people was to be who you are, be authentic. You are a citizen of this place and of the world.
Yep.
Speak from that perspective.
I ran into Matt Belanger in the hallway on Thursday morning, the day after, and had a chance to talk to him for a few minutes and asked him about the comparison from sitting there and reading a script numerous times throughout a 2 or 3 hour broadcast compared to facing a camera with no script and just completely, totally winging it. And I said, how do you feel about that? And I knew what the answer was going to be. I love it. And it's always been the answer. I've asked other TV anchors the same question, and they all say the same thing. And from my perspective, it really brings out who you are as a person and the skills that you have that led you to this level. Another person that I didn't talk to in person, but I sent her a note, is the reporter Bailey Hurley.
Yes, absolutely.
She was on the scene right away because she was already doing a stand-up in a different part of South Minneapolis about the shootings that happened overnight. So they sent her down there, and Bailey witnessed, along with the rest of us, parents running to the school. And Bailey broke up, just like I guarantee you everybody that was watching that broke up. And it's actually kind of hard for me to talk about it because I'm afraid I'm going to break up about it right now.
Me too.
And to me, that really... And a lot of people might criticize her, maybe news directors on the East or West Coast. Whatever. But to me, that's like, you are one of us. And the note I sent her is, you reflected exactly what I was feeling. Good job. Keep it up.
And you know what? I mean, I thought the exact same thing, Kenny. When I heard her breaking up, it made me love her.
Yeah.
For this reason, she was watching parents.
Yeah.
Come up a street, wondering if their child was alive.
Yeah. And
anyone who's not moved by that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you have to be moved by that by me telling you that right now. I'm saying she was standing in the street watching live human beings walk up the street, run from their homes that were blocks away, take bikes to this place to find out if the child was alive.
Yeah.
I thought she was authentic. I thought she was genuine.
Yeah.
She recovered very nicely and kind of went on with it. But I would have done the same thing, and I think people respected her for doing so.
She was a new mom recently. I think it might be her first child just last fall or over the winter. But I just props to Bailey. I think
who is a parent or even not
all
a parent?
All parents.
Any parent for sure, but even if you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were a parent that day and all these days afterwards, how can you not put yourself in that place?
I'll be honest. Before it was even 9 a.m., I called my son.
I bet I did. I did too. I texted my son.
Yeah.
So we got through that, and Channel 5 got us through that, and I think I'm going to love what you and Jay do. But this has been super fun, and we'll get through the next few weeks. I'll do my usual, no preparation, walk in with no idea what we're going to talk about.
I'm pretty sure I'm coming down with something, and I probably won't be available next week.
I love somebody who plans a sick day.
But, we'll see. Meanwhile, thanks for listening today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Need parts and accessories or apparel for motorcycles, snowmobiles, side-by-sides, or wheelers, DennisKirk.com. Absolutely the best and easiest way to acquire those goodies. Not just aftermarket candy, but also replacement parts that are usually a little better quality than OEM parts. You got to know how to shop. Dennis Kirk has those parts. And by the way, when it comes to apparel, wow. Dennis Kirk has a huge selection of all sorts of apparel, gloves, masks, hat, jackets, and I'm not sure, but I think every helmet ever made. They have them all. They've been around since, are you ready for this? 1969, almost as old as Kenny. And they have 185,000 parts and accessories in stock right now. If the part exists, DennisKirk.com has it. And we're talking everything. Bikes, I don't care if those bikes were made in Wisconsin or Japan. Sleds made in Minnesota or Canada or Finland. Doesn't matter. DennisKirk.com has you covered before you go anywhere else. Check out Dennis Kirk. We get same-day shipping on orders placed before 6 p.m. and all orders over $89 ship for free. Whatever and wherever you ride, Dennis Kirk has the parts and accessories you need. Go to DennisKirk.com.